Hello, I want to show you this is actually a Christmas gift that my husband and I decided to buy for each other. But the thing is it's 2 weeks from Christmas, so we got a little excited and just wanted to get into it. And I've been using it a lot actually the past couple of days, and it's been kind of what I thought it was going to be. Really met all my expectations. It's the Rancilio Rocky coffee grinder, and a couple years back I had purchased the Rancilio Sylvia Espresso machine, and I had a coffee grinder that I used. It was kind of cheap, and I just really found it wasn't doing me any favors, especially when you invest in a nice coffee machine. Often, you also want to invest in a really nice grinder as well too. So I just found that the cheap grinder that I had wasn't really bringing out the flavor of the coffee bean, and it just wasn't getting a really great grind as well for the really nice espresso machine that I had invested in. So I decided to purchase one of these. And well, first of all, it fits really well in my kitchen. It's sleek. It's kind of like a nice tall design, but it slips right under all cabinets. Like, it's not too tall. It'll slip under anything actually, and fit nicely in between your maybe fridge and your coffee maker as well too. So I really like how it looks in my kitchen here. Now, as far as the grind goes, one of the reasons why I picked this one is because it has the steel burrs, and I know you're gonna get a really great grind with that. So you can't see the burrs, you can see some really nice coffee beans in there. Oh, they smell so good. So I, needless to say, drink a lot of coffee, and I like almost, like exploring trying to be a home barista, and, just to kind of become better at making a really great cup of coffee. Because once you can make a really great cup of coffee in your home, which really these are just the tools you need. You're spending maybe $5 for a latte or an Americano at the store. At a coffee shop, you can actually make the exact same one in your house. And that's what I found since investing in this. I buy some really nice beans. They're freshly roasted. I know that makes quite a big difference. So I buy these at just a local store, these beans, and I put them in my machine, pop them in. Very easy to grind. Just press this button here. Okay, this is a really great feature about this too, I noticed, is that, I wake up fairly early in the morning, and with my last coffee maker, there are other people sleeping in my house, and I don't want to wake them up. So at 6:30 in the morning, my last coffee maker was kind of the wake up alarm for everybody. It was so loud. So this one is way quieter. It doesn't echo through my house. Just really nice. That to me makes a really big difference, is the noise of it as well too. Now, to talk about the grind here, this is so cool too. I think it has over 55 stepped settings. So the way you change your grind settings is you just press this little button down there, and then you just turn it as you go, and it'll turn. I keep mine at 19. I think it just depends on the bean and the grind you want, and of course the kind of coffee you're having. There are lots of sort of different suggestions, and I think you have to play around with it a little to see what you like best. For example, though, if I'm doing espresso, I like 13 to 14 grind. French press, maybe over 40. So it's kind of fun just to play around with and see what is your favorite grind. Down here is the doser. Now, not all grinders come with this. I was kind of debating if I should get it or not, but I decided to go with the doser. The reason being is I like that I take my portafilter here. This, of course, came with my espresso machine, and I put it in there. I've grinded my beans, and then quite simply, you just drag this across, and if it, of course, was full, it fills it up. I just think that's such an easy maybe not as messy a way to do it, but you know what? If you don't want a doser, you don't have to get it. You can actually get a doser-less. But I went with the doser, and you know what? I'm pretty happy with that choice. I think it's a pretty great choice. So what I've noticed too, in the upgrade from, you know, going from the cheap grinder to what is, I mean, this is a commercial, I would say this is a commercial sort of grade grinder, but it's for home use. You know how on coffee bags with the beans, it says, this coffee has a hint of chocolate and cherry and a nuance of apricot. I found with my cheap grinder, I wasn't getting those nuances. I was not tasting the chocolate or the cherry or really anything. And I mean, this has completely taken it to a whole new level. You're getting every flavor that it says on the package. I think this one here is like I think it's like a chocolate and a cherry, a hint of those. And I notice when I make that coffee, I'm tasting it. So really the incredible thing about this, I find, is that I do go to coffee shops way less, especially in the mornings when I was, you know, I'd often stop at the coffee shop before work to get a really great coffee. But the coolest thing is I'm able to make it at my home now. And ultimately what I've noticed is if I add up, you know, every latte that I was buying in a year, it actually ends up being way more than the costs of my home, you know, espresso machine and a grinder. So it's been really worth it so far. And I look forward to using it more. Thanks for listening.